Silly boys, silly games, silly boys, silly games.
And we're back. All right, Chris, I believe you have something absolutely amazing to keep all of us and the people at home entertained forever and ever. Chris, what is your segment? That sounds weird. What is your segment? Like a weird, I don't know.
I'm considering getting calamari. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
So, this is your TED Talk now.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
All right, what is something that people should do? Or not do? Or think?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Talking about TED Talks.
Okay.
I saw one on YouTube a while ago. This dude... Oh no!
Damn it.
This
Drink more
dude,
Newcastle.
he went on for, I don't know what it was, 10, 15 minutes? And the entire TED Talk was literally, here's how you should dry your hands after washing them. That was the TED Talk. Oh my god, seriously?
I mean, okay, here's my TED Talk on how you should dry your hands. 1, before you wash your hands, you should make sure you have the towels ready. Then, you finish washing your hands, you don't turn the water off yet, you grab the towels, you dry your hands, you use the towels to shut off the water, and open the door handle to the bathroom. There. That's how you should be drying your hands.
That's way too complicated.
Even that's a bit
Having
too
your
complicated.
paper towels ready after you wash your hands so you can dry them off, turn off the faucet, and use it to open the door.
Exactly, so you're not touching anything.
That's how they exactly teach us how to do it when you work in the medical profession.
I mean, it just makes sense, right? You don't want to touch anything after you wash your hands. Because guess what? The whole bathroom is dirty. Or at least you have to assume it's dirty.
We're in patient care, so we don't want to be traveling that disease.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Somebody
definitely.
That, shouldn't have that going on.
So he had to go for 10 minutes. What is the most nitpicky nuance that he had to...
How many times you should shake your hands to get the water drips off before
That is
you
fair.
start?
That is fair, because it does take less paper towels if you actually get the water off your hands by shaking it first.
Medical field, we're not taught to shake our hands because that's just going to throw around germs.
That's true. That's fair.
You're either going to
Well,
put it on us, put it on other objects, or other people if there's other people washing their hands.
If I remember correctly, the point of the talk was saving paper. Not promoting healthy living.
Then you should have some high capacity air dryers and an
But
automatic
that uses
and
energy.
and an automatic door opener so you don't touch the door.
Oh.
Or have it designed so that it's like a little U-turn so that you can't actually see into the bathroom. You have to walk around to things.
The air dryers we have at work are amazing.
Ooh.
They are so strong.
Are they the jet dryers?
It's like a jumbo jet.
Great when you go into a restaurant that has one of those.
Yes. Now, on to the shaking your hands. The same thing is true when you take a shower. You can lessen how damp your towel gets by basically taking your hand and just squeegeeing off your skin.
I too read it.
Oh, is that what you saw that on Reddit?
Yeah.
I just do that with my hair since I just,
You got a lot of it.
I just don't want to wait for my hair to dry for like 3 days.
Yeah. Kind of strangle the moisture out of it.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
put
do.
it back in a ponytail.
Yeah, you got
sometimes.
really long hair too. Jeez.
Because if I take a shower in the morning, I put my hair in a ponytail all day, I might wake up the next morning and still have a wet back of my head.
Well, that's the thing. Don't put your hair in a ponytail immediately after showering.
I want to be able to see.
You can
don't
use
want
like a
to be the big
hairband
hairy
or
monster.
something. You can use a headband or something. That's fine. But if you're constricting your hair while it's still wet, you're not letting the airflow get in there to dry it out.
Don't want the hair
And that's
to be all-
assuming that you're not using a hair dryer.
Correct answer is headbanging.
Yes.
And it has
Yeah,
always been headbanging.
You gotta listen to heavy metal immediately
But
after
that's
the
just
shower.
throwing water and germs everywhere.
I mean, yeah.
It
In
matters.
your hands, or when you guys shake something else.
It matters less if the music is really hard.
Oh, no.
Oh. You're gonna do it one of these days.
Sad.
Where we're at. Well, let's see. We got Peach at level 9.
Probably, yeah, level 9. Yeah, Mario and Malo were 14 to start. Bowser's getting up there now.
Everybody's slowly climbing.
You said it's 100 per? But it's taking like
on
4
a-
digits, though.
Yeah, on a
Interesting.
good run. I would say on a good run, it's about 100.
Oh, no.
Oh no, you're not gonna get everything. Oh no.
Can't have it all. Oh. Toadstool. Come back.
Yes, she has a red spell.
Ah.
Oh. Okay, I was thinking like Scorpion. Get over here.
9 hit points. Very nice on that bonus. Sadly, it's going to make this go longer. It's couldn't run. Good run.
Come on.
Good. That ran away.
Not terrible if they all miss, and then maybe they get a free hit with them even defending, so more damage I have to take. Unfortunately, the one bad thing you can't do in this game is attack your own people.
Ah.
So I have to just sit here and defend.
Are you sure this is Squaresoft?
Yeah, right?
Yes, this was their one game where they weren't allowing you to be a masochist and a sadist.
Wait. Do you get an airship?
No.
Ah. I don't think this is Squaresoft at all, John.
I wonder.
What were they thinking?
So,
Clearly,
Not
they
even
were
Bowser
not.
has one of his.
so Chris, alrighty then. Since you need to carry this entire episode because that's what you said you would do.
Is this what I agreed to?
Clearly. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to introduce Worm. Worm is a story about superheroes, specifically a teenage superhero that, through shenanigans, joins a supervillain team. Okay, Chris, you have 30 seconds to sell everyone on Worm. Starting now.
Oh, so this is your channel, so I wasn't gonna introduce it. But since you did,
I opened the door.
So you know how in like Spider-Man,
Beware of
You've
Robbie
got-
sparing.
15 seconds.
Spider-Man, you've got backstory, right? Same basic idea, except this time it's the backstory of a supervillain, and it's really good.
2, 1. Okay, so
With
that's
time to spare.
I guess.
And I started late.
So it's what? You're saying it's just a supervillain's backstory, basically. So it's not the actual story. It's just the backstory of the character.
Well, it starts as the backstory. You asked me to sell it, not to summarize the entire story.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. We're gonna give you another 30 seconds.
It doesn't
Sorry,
sound
45 seconds because I
it-
don't know enough to introduce it, really.
It doesn't sound as great of a backstory as, like, your parents just neglecting you, not giving a shit, and making you stand outside as a garden gnome all day long. No one can have a cool backstory and be a supervillain like Doofenshmirtz.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated.
Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated!
You know how the Girl Scouts always come to your door and they knock and they're going to sell you cookies and you don't want to open the door for them because you know they're going to sell you the cookies. So you don't open the door, but then they look in the window and they look so sad. You're just like, oh no, I can't just leave their house out in the rain. So I'm going to make an Invisinator to turn them invisible so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Doofenshmirtz Evil
Incorporated!
The best thing
I
about,
love Phineas.
the best thing about all that is he's a great dad.
He is a great dad. daughter's hot too.
Despite his upbringing and how terrible his parents were, he's a really involved dad with his daughter. He cares about her so much.
Dr. Brown, you're a platypus. Hat. Patty the platypus! It's a fun show. Highly recommend. Almost worth the price of admission for Disney Plus.
Oh no!
Not again.
This must be a really hard part to get past.
It must be. It must
Because
be super difficult.
This must have
difficult.
been intended to be difficult to get
No,
past.
the developers just intended it to be this way, and it just works.
It just works, guys. Guys, it just works. Ooh, so far so good. I'm liking this run. I'm liking the run. Get the extra one.
Oh!
The end.
Yeah!
Mario. All right. Okay, Chris. So
17.
same thing, but it's gonna be for Pact, and I'm gonna give you 15 seconds since I can't properly introduce it, having not read any of it. So
Oh.
now in 3,
Hacked.
2, 1, 45 seconds.
Okay, so, you ever watched a horror movie or read a horror story? Or not even necessarily horror, it could just be fantasy in general, although usually with horror themes. Pact is the universe this takes place in. I don't care what movie you're watching, I don't care what story you're reading, I don't care if you think it's fantasy or not. Pact is the universe, or the other verse is what it's called. Pact is the universe it takes place in. You want something that happens in the Goosebumps books? It happens there. You want something that happens in Stephen King? It happens there. Everything is explainable.
Time. Okay, that doesn't sell the story though. It just says, "Hey, this is a place where things happen."
Oh, but if you're into that at all, you're gonna want to read
That's
this.
fair. I'm not.
Now, I will say there are things that can.
Now, if you had said something like, "Okay, you ever watched a porn?" This is the world where all the porn takes place. Every convention you can think of is just the norm.
Oh no.
In this world. And I
Oh,
you know what?
3 squids.
We have 3 bloopers.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
the tentacles.
Peach, don't turn and hide.
Toadstool
this is
feels
your
so at home.
Mario's not hiding. Not yet.
There are
Fair's
some
fair.
things.
Because since I like porn, I would have been really on board with that premise. I don't care for horror, therefore I wasn't super into that premise.
It could be horror porn.
Ooh, there is horror porn, and it is kind of fun.
There are some things that, some reasons that I might not recommend Pact.
Okay.
Mostly because it is a very high octane story, and I don't mean that as in it's action packed. I mean that as in there's suspenseful. There is virtually no downtime. It is the only story I have ever read that I had to put it down and set it aside for a couple days before coming back to it, just to give myself time to unwind.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Now that's a ringing endorsement.
If you're into that kind of
Right?
stuff, yeah. Say again?
You've seen Friends, right? Joey reads The Shining, and every once in a while he has to throw the book in the freezer. Then he starts reading Little Women, and he gets really worried that one of the girls is going to die, so he throws the book in the freezer. I love Friends. Friends was a good show.
Joey, the most underrated character of the whole show.
It's true. Well, no. David Schwimmer, Ross, was the most underrated character.
David Schwimmer, Ross, the character we didn't need on the show at all.
He was great. I love David Schwimmer.
You see, that this is a perfect example of being underrated.
Yeah, right there. Very clearly, you are underrating David Schwimmer.
No. You're all just overrating him.
No. In fact, most people agree with you. I don't, however. He was really good. I mean, there's There's like the scenes where his sandwich was stolen. Somebody put it to like horror theme music.
I remember that.
Stole my sandwich.
His character.
I mean, you might be able to check the trash. There might be some of it left.
We
You threw away my.
We could have easily,
Oh no!
easily replaced David Schwimmer with, I don't know, off the top of my head, Jason Alexander, and it'd be a better character.
Okay, Jason Alexander is amazing. But the reason that nobody liked Ross was because David Schwimmer played him so well. Ross was not a likable character.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
Yo, he was a big nerd and he was very arrogant about it. And he was, okay, not, I'll say kind of like a cheating douche. I mean, they were kind of on a break.
He's an unfaithful bastard, and we all know it.
There were times that he could be whiny as hell, too.
Yeah, that's true.
Why, if he ended up with anybody, it should have been Phoebe for somebody that could put him in his place.
That's true, and Phoebe did put him in his place, and that was some good times.
Yeah.
Hey, Bowser's finally at 50 magic power, not that we need it. It's more about the magic defense.
But yeah, don't you dare say David Schwimmer is bad. He's a great actor.
But the only thing I caught him in that actually made me like David Schwimmer was probably Band of Brothers.
Which, yeah, was really good, and he was in the very beginning, right? He was the one that was training them.
Yes, he was the trainer that was very terrible at his job.
He was a fantastic trainer. He was not a good leader. And that's why, I mean, this was back when the military actually cared about making sure you're in the right place in the military. And not, no, you just have to do everything perfect all the time. It was, okay, yeah, sure, great. You have trained these guys really well. You're going to stay on and train another company. You're not getting shipped out with them. But Easy Company's my company. No, you stay here. You train another company. We've seen you. We've seen you at the war practices. We've seen you in the live fire drills. No. You stay here. They
Given
go
the
out.
fact that
you trained them really well.
I was saying, given the fact that none of his men liked him, or
Yeah.
trusted him, or wanted to go into battle with him
But
either.
he trained them damn well. And that was his use in the military. So, now that that's been done, we got 2.5 minutes on this episode. Chris, you have 2.5 minutes. Bring it home. Chris, it's almost the most amazing episode ever.
Okay. Packed. If that is not
your 45 seconds.
if that is not your thing,
Ah.
but if that is not quite your thing, that's suspense. There is another story by the same author
Wild
called
Bow, yes.
Wild Bow, called
Author.
Pale. It takes place in
pales
this.
in comparison.
Yeah, actually I think there's a podcast by that name. Which is actually it's people reviewing the story. Yeah, Pale. It takes place in the same universe as Pact, but it is not a sequel. It's billed as a completely different entry point into the universe for readers.
Okay.
And it is much lower octane, I guess.
Lower key?
Yeah, lower key. It's still the same universe. It's still definitely horror themes. But it's a much gentler introduction to the universe.
Okay.
It is 3 young teenage girls become practitioners when they are awakened to the world of magic by the magical monsters, or others, that live in their hometown. And they are asked to solve a mystery for the others. And,
Oh, like Zoinks, dude.
Oh.
No!
Make it another 26 seconds. That'd be 20 minutes. We'd be at the end of the episode. No.
We'll forever miss you, Mario.
All right. Well, I gotta get rendering these videos now, so I think now's a good time to pause.
Real quick, I highly recommend Pale. P-A-L-E.
I will recommend Worm, but only up until whatever the Jack Slash in their group, because it just got super boring then.
Honestly,
and I just wasn't interested.
Honestly, those chapters were really well written.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take your word for it.
It just wasn't.
They'd be really well written if they were half as long.
Don't treat them as chapters. Treat them as short stories.
And that's not what I'm here for.
Yeah,
I'm here for the overarching story of everything.
Here for the overarching story of Taylor Hebert.
Way too in depth. I don't mind segues, but I don't need 9 segues in a row.
Yeah, that was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, a bit ridiculous.
I think it was actually 8 chapters.
Right, because 2 of them were together, weren't they?
No,
no,
because
they were
there's only
one because they needed another one.
Yeah, they were in town to recruit.
Yes. Oh no! Don't sell her dress. Wait a minute. Can you sell all her dress? All her dresses?
Wearing a nautical dress.
Oh, okay then. All right. Well, I guess that's the end of the
Whoa, wait. Does that mean bathing suit?
Ooh, yeah, nautical dress. Or is it just like a sailor uniform?
It's a nautical dress.
Yeah, it is. Or are we pushing forward? Do we have another episode in us, even though I kind of want to start rendering these videos so they'll be ready for... So I don't have to stay up until 1 or 3 o'clock in the morning doing it.
Nonsense, you obviously need to stay up until 4!
I mean, I could. I mean, I won't enjoy it, but I could.
I'm just grabbing the items real quick, and I'll go back to the save point.
Oh, okay. And, what, probably continue on back at your place, right?
And by the time we come back, everyone will be level 50!
Oh, that's right. You can keep on getting these items, too, can't you? Even that frog coin?
No, those reset.
Oh, you don't keep... Okay, only the experience stays.
Experience stays.
Interesting.
As long as they keep that star there.
And for some reason, the game was made so that you can only use this special, very intended thing by having no armor, no accessories.
Well, no. That's just so he can die
do it
easier.
without. It's just
Mario
on
can die.
my defense to make me dying quicker.
Do you need to defend?
No. Well, that's
It's
all
just
you
so
can
you don't
do.
kill the enemies.
You cannot attack your own group, so I have to defend, or else it's me using items, or me using special attacks, or me attacking,
Which would end
or
the battle.
trying to run away.
Okay.
So, the only choice. Alrighty then, now that we finally explained what was going on to Chris.
Oh my god! I haven't been paying attention to any of this!
Clearly not. Alright, y'all have fun. Have a good one. We'll talk to y'all later. Talk at you all, actually. We don't really talk to you. I mean, talking to kind of implies that you're talking back. So, we'll talk at you later. Bye, everyone.